I'm Christian Datoc, and this is my year-end review. I spent time in Asheville, North Carolina in October while we were covering early voting down there in the state, and the fallout from Hurricane Helene was one of the worst stories I've ever had to cover. The region is devastated, and the ongoing cleanup is going to take months, if not years, to finish. Here's a little bit of what we saw on the ground. We're in Asheville, North Carolina, surveying this cleanup from Hurricane Helene. The recovery in Asheville and western North Carolina is ongoing, but nowhere near complete. Patty Torno, a designer in the hard-hit River Arts District, told us about how the rebuilding is going in her area.
We already are starting to rebuild our lives. I mean, I've already pulled permits on my buildings, and working with city staff has been great.
Meanwhile, residents are worn out from politicians using their misery to score points ahead of the 2024 election.
I don't think a natural event like this should be political.
The way this has been politicized is totally disgusting.
Newly elected city council member Bo Hess was receptive to Donald Trump's October visit to Asheville, but still frustrated by the politicization of the cleanup.
Seeing that misinformation was heartbreaking. We expect our leaders to uphold a higher standard. However, he did show up.
After Hurricane Helene made landfall in September, Trump has repeatedly claimed that President Joe Biden and Harris have slowed aid to the region.
They spent a lot of money on bringing illegal migrants, people that came into our country illegally, and taking them in, and all of the money they've spent, numbers that nobody can even believe.
A number of North Carolinians knocked Trump's visit for closing roads and delaying recovery efforts.
Most of what he was doing was claiming that the relief organizations that really helped us need to be defunded, and did nothing.
I was not very happy that he came, just because it's already so chaotic.
Shut down roads just for the sake of a picture and to say that he had done it.
In addition to government workers, there have been many nonprofits and other aid programs that were quick to arrive in the area. We spoke with members of Savage Freedom Defense, a group led by former Special Forces operators, about their ongoing work.
The coordination of all of the different elements from local, state, federal government, including military units. We've had the 101st guys working with us. That's been awesome. The National Guard, the Air Guard, over 1 million pounds have gone out already. Wow. And probably 2 million pounds that we've actually brought in. While I think there is a lot of help coming here, I think we still have a long way to go to get people even back to reasonable living standards.
There still remains detection work taking place because we've given a promise to some families to do everything we can. But the big focus is cleanup and reconstruction. We're building a contractors list. We're looking at trying to get donors to pay to donate money so we can take that donated money and pay local contractors to get back to work.
Ultimately, Asheville residents fear being forgotten once the cameras and national news reporters go away.
When all the political capital is used up and this area is squeezed dry of its political usefulness, they don't want it to be forgotten.
Yeah.
Because the fact is, donations are going to run dry. And when that happens, what's the next step? And the next step has to be a more effective means of getting that funding into the community.
You're a tourist town, you want people to come in, you want people to support the economy.
Despite the unforeseen hardship, Asheville is optimistic it will one day return to status as a top stop for travelers in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Reporting from western North Carolina, I'm Christian Datoc for the Washington Examiner. One of the biggest concerns for the people of western North Carolina is flat out being forgotten now that the election is over and news cameras have lost their community. We spoke to a number of these aid workers there who are talking about obstacles the federal government is putting in their path just by nature of being a bureaucracy. And I do think, based on this FEMA scandal that happened down in Florida, the Trump administration is going to continue highlighting this region and the attempts to funnel aid and just rebuild the communities. Reporting for the Washington Examiner, I'm Christian Datoc.